Have you ever lost your cell phone? I mean, even if it's only for a couple of minutes, misplacing it will drive you crazy. Well, a man over in Malaysia lost his cell phone, and when he recovered it, there were some incriminating photos and video on it. You see, a young student named Zakritz Radzi lives in a home that backs right up to a jungle. And it seems what actually happened was that he didn't misplace his phone after all. A monkey stole it. I'm not making this up. A monkey stole his phone. And then the monkey took selfies as well as video of it trying to eat the phone.
What?
That's right. Well, the phone went missing on Saturday, and then on Sunday afternoon, Zach's father spotted a monkey at the back of their house. So Zach rang his number and heard it on the edge of the jungle near the monkey. He recovered it under a palm tree.
No.
He did. Now, his uncle joked that maybe there was a photo of the thief on his phone, and when they checked, they had more photos than a barrel of monkeys.
Wow.
And all the pictures were of a monkey. This story actually reminds me of a couple I know and their little girl. One day, the little girl asked her mom, "Hey, Mommy, where do humans come from?" And the mother said, "Well, they come from Adam and Eve." Then the little girl went to her father, who was an atheist. And the little girl asked her father the same question. The dad said, "We come from our ancestors, the monkeys." Well, now confused, the little girl went back to her mom and told her what her father said. Her mother wisely answered, "Well, I was talking about my family's ancestors, not your father's." You gotta love that, right?
Good answer.
Let's go across the pond over in jolly old England, where a shopper named Stuart Anthony was quite confused when he bought a cutting board, or as they refer to those in the UK, a chopping board. He got home and read the instructions on the back. And the confusion began when he turned over the chopping board and he read the following instructions. Wood chopping board, wipe clean only. Wipe up spills immediately to avoid staining. Do not soak and do not use as a chopping board.
Governor, that reminds me. One time I was using a cutting board with my uncle. And when I went to use my saw, a rabbit jumped right on the table.
What?
And got cut right in half.
Oh, no.
My uncle shouted, "You just chopped that rabbit in half." And I corrected him. I said, "No, Uncle, I cut it in half."
Oh.
You know what he said?
No.
"Now you're splitting hairs."
I'm glad you got the buzzer out on after that one.
That's a bad joke.
Why?
Hey, well, Keith, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Why was the cutting board?
I have no idea.
Because the knife was really dull. See what I did? You see what I did there?
That's
Yeah.
clever.
All right, finally, in our neck of the swamp, from our Florida Man files, comes yet another unique news story. A man got arrested near Orlando for impersonating a police officer. Now, that's strange enough. But the incident that landed this fellow in jail was that he pulled over an off-duty cop.
Not good.
Yeah.
Not good.
No, not smart. Not at all.
You know, Gov, that reminds me, about a year ago, I was pulled over by a real state trooper, though.
Really?
Yeah, and he asked me, do you know any idea how fast you were going? And so I replied innocently, of course, "Isn't that your job to tell me?" And that was a bad idea.
No.
Bad idea.
That's not good.
That's not smart.
Well, far be it from me to interrupt such a fascinating story. But, Governor, I've got a similar story. An officer pulled me over for speeding and then noticed my license restriction. He said, "I have to give you a ticket for not wearing glasses." So I said, "But, officer, I have contacts." Then he said, "I don't care who you know, you're still getting a ticket."
Hey, Keith, do you know what happens when a policeman goes to bed?
I'm afraid to ask.
He becomes an undercover cop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, let's get back to our Florida man, all right? 40-year-old Omar Ford told police that he was coming home from his security guard job when he saw what he believed was a drunk driver swerving his vehicle dangerously. Now, keep in mind, Mr. Ford was dressed in vest, badge, gun, and taser with the words "Criminal Task Force" right in the front of his uniform. Ford reportedly told police that he pulled alongside the off-duty officer's car to say something. And then when the BMW driver asked if he was being pulled over, Ford told him to slow down. That's when the real officer got behind Ford's car, flashed his own lights, and pulled him over. The officer could see that the uniform was not from police in the area, so he called 911 for police response. Castleberry City Police arrived and said they discovered Ford didn't even possess a valid driver's license. How about that? So he's been charged with impersonating an officer and driving with a suspended license. Ford denies the impersonation charge because I guess he believes he's faked it enough that he ought to have made it by now.
Oh.
Anyway.
Was anybody's name Barney Fife in the
I think
story?
he must have been. That must have been the guy's alter ego. Well, before we leave this subject, I should tell you about my run-in with an officer.
Oh, I want to hear that.
Yeah, it was a parking violation. I was getting out of the car, and he said, "Why did you park here?" And I replied, I said, "Well, the sign says fine for parking."
Well, there you go.
Wow.
What's the problem?
You know, I'll tell you something, grammar didn't get me out of that one. It did not. Well, just like a fake cop in a donut shop, we got to get out of here. But never forget, we read the news. Now, if you're seeing this, I know you've enjoyed that video. I mean, how could you not, after all? So you know what you should do? Leave a like, click on the subscribe button below, and hit the notification bell next to it so you'll always know when I have another video up for you to enjoy.